Hello, I'm Colin Jenkins with School Video News. I'm here at OETC 2019, joined with Mr. Eric Sheninger. Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Sheninger.
Thanks for having me.
So I just wanted to start off with asking, you're at a educational technology conference, and you weren't always hooked on, technology. Can you kind of talk about your journey from not really loving technology to, kind of being an advocate for it in education?
Yeah, I mean, we also fear. We fear what we don't understand. In the words of Zig Ziglar, you look at fear as forget everything and run, which is what I did, or face everything and rise. So because I didn't understand, I feared it, and I made excuses as to why we shouldn't be going in a particular direction. And my big thing with technology was effective use was, yeah, we use the overhead projector, or we do PowerPoint. We have interactive whiteboards. It wasn't really about what the kids were doing with it because we were afraid to give up control and trust our kids. So it really took a student, when I took his device, to tell me to my face that because of my actions, I was creating a school that wasn't very relevant to not just him, but the majority of the kids. And that's when I kind of went down my journey to look at my own behaviors and actions to try to create a school that worked better for kids than one that traditionally worked well for the adults.
Definitely. And how did you subsequently create that change through technology in the school district and just in the culture?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of trial and error. We made a lot of mistakes. And I'd say there's no perfection in education. There's no perfect school, district, teacher, administrator, student. And that's an opportunity for us always to get better. So we just constantly strove for growth. And what we did was we learned how to unlearn and relearn. A lot of our learning initially came from social media, like Twitter. We created our own personal learning networks, but then we created our own conditions in terms of professional development in-house. We hosted our own conference. We did a lot of how-to sessions, and we gave time for our teachers during the school day to learn how to effectively integrate technology. But the real differentiator for us was how we were able to take a critical lens and make sure that level of questioning was changing, student work was changing, assessment was changing, and feedback. So we were very specific at looking at what we had always done, but with technology, using it in ways to do what we'd always done better.
Definitely. And then, shifting to your presentation that you gave today, you talk about these steps in learning skills. Can you kind of describe what those are and how they create a more, effective learner?
Yeah, we looked at over 100 research studies and came up with these 8 keys to transform learning. The first one is leadership. Leadership and culture lay the foundation. Anybody, regardless of title, position, and power, can be a leader if they take action. When we talk about act, actions change things. Number 2, make learning personal. If kids don't understand why they're learning what they're learning, how they'll use it outside of school, and what they actually learned, who cares? So kids need authenticity, they need relevance, they need to see a greater purpose. Number 3 is this concept of return on instruction. When we invest in technology and in professional development and innovative ideas, what is that return on instruction leading to improved outcomes? What evidence do we have that all the time and money is actually improving anything? 4 is looking at how we transform learning spaces. As you think about your role as a senior, do you want to learn in every single classroom in your school? Do you want to learn under the same conditions as every kid in your school? Those are questions we have to ask. If kids don't want to learn in the spaces, classrooms, and environments, that tells us we got to do something different. 5 is how we make learning more personal as adults. And if we want to make personal learning for kids, we need to model that as adults. Don't expect others to do, kids, what you're not willing to do or have not done yourself. And that's that whole concept of creating a personal learning network using Twitter and social media. Number 6 is how technology can be an accelerant for learning. If we improve pedagogy, the science of teaching and learning, then technology can really support and enhance everything that we already do. The key question is, how can we empower kids to learn in ways with tech that they can't without it? 7 is community collaboration. How well are we telling our story? Right now, I love the bus, the mobile storyteller. You're telling stories of teaching, learning, and leadership. We have to do a better job of that, not just as teachers and administrators, but also our students have to really up their game to give a bird's eye view of how learning is transforming and better impacting them. And number 8 is all about relationships, sustainability. Flavor of the month, all these ideas, opinions, doesn't matter if it doesn't stick and become embedded in culture.
Definitely. And you said through both trial and error and a student coming to you, you kind of realized how to become a more efficient, educator through technology. How can conferences like OETC do that job for some of the other educators we have here today?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is, we talk about a lot, I talk about a lot this concept of student agency. Do we afford kids choice, voice, and are they advocates for what they need to be successful? So when you look at a conference like this, what is the role of the student? What is the role of student voice? I'd love to see students on panels. I'd love to see students talking about how the products that all the vendors are here are actually improving learning for them. I want kids to talk about the changes that they want to see in their classroom, their school, that are going to better prepare them, not just for college, but careers. So as you look at a conference like this, and again, maybe it's already being done, I don't know, but involving students in every facet, I'd love to see student-run presentations and really give that sort of impact statement from our number one stakeholder and those who we ultimately are accountable to, our students.
Definitely. And then a final question I have for you is, you have seen technology change education thus far, and I wanted to ask how you see it changing it more in the future.
Well, I hope it's going to change more in the future. As I mentioned in my keynote, technology changes, but we're not seeing teaching, learning, and leadership change at scale. So I think we have to continue to find that balance. Technology will not improve every outcome, nor should it be used every single point in the day. Our learners, our kids, need to understand if it's not going to provide support or an improvement in terms of what we're doing, then let's not use it. Teaching balance, teaching self-management, teaching how we can look at those soft skills that kids need to be successful. So, but I think we can't just close our eyes and minds and say, oh, you know what, we're not going to do it. We're not going to trust our kids. So again, continuing to find that sweet spot, which is going to look different for every school, district, state. But again, it's not a matter of I won't do it. It's how can we do it in a way that actually improves the experience for kids.
I think that is the question that OETC poses. And I'd like to thank you for joining us today on set.
Thank you very much.
I've been Colin Jenkins with School Video News with Eric Sheninger, a senior fellow at the International Center for Leadership in Education. Thank you so much.